BERNINA E16 control panel. We're going to be looking at the combination key controls that we have available here. There are many different things that we want to be able to do with the item we have hooped. But at the machine, one of the first things that you should be wanting to have the ability to do is close and open the grabber. So to do that at the control panel, you will use the adjustment key and the centering key together, and it will either close it or it will open it back up again. The other things that we have available in combination, I like to think of it in a way of what is it that I want to be working with. Am I going to work with the hoop? Am I going to work with the needles? Maybe it has something to do with speed or movement in a direction. So let's look at things we can do with the hoop combination keys. We can use the hoop and move it to the center if we needed to center the design. I happen to, in this instance, already have the design in the center, so we didn't see anything happen. But if I want to move it from side to side, either left or right, or up and down, you'll notice that I have the hoop key always depressed and then select what directions I want it to move. Now to center it back, I would just go ahead and use the hoop key and the center key, and it brought it right back to the center of the hoop. The other thing that the hoop key in conjunction with another combination performs is a trace, which you want to know where your design is going to be within the hoop. So you'll use the hoop key and the trace key together, and it now, using the laser, shows you the perimeter of the design and how it fits within the area of the hoop. So you can then make an adjustment to the position in the hoop if need be. The trace gives you that idea, and then you are in control of repositioning the item. When we begin stitching, I'm going to go ahead and stitch a little bit here, because there's some other functions at the control panel that I want to illustrate, and we need to be in the stitching process to be able to show those to you. So as it stitches away, we're going to go ahead and stop it. We may need to make some other adjustments. One might be in the stitching speed, but it could be something as far as moving to a different color command or moving to a different needle. Now in the course of the stitching, I want to show you this one more time, we can also make adjustments to the speed. Right now, this machine is stitching at about 1,000 stitches per minute, but I may want to increase that speed or decrease it, and I would do that by using this adjustment key and the up and down arrows, and I can do that while the machine is stitching. So it will go up 50 stitches per minute, up or down in the course of the stitching process. When we are ready to do other movement of the hoop at the machine, we will need to do a trimming of the thread. That is done through adjustment and the needles, because we're working with the needles and it will cut the thread. Sometimes in the status bar of the BERNINA user interface, which is the screen on our computer, it gives us messages down in the lower area of the screen. And right now it says it's stopped. If I wanted to, for instance, go forward or backward in the design, I would have to do a trim required. But I can bypass that command also by choosing the adjustment key and the hoop. So I wouldn't necessarily have to cut the thread unless I really wanted to. We're going to go ahead and trim by using the adjustment key and the trim. And then that allows us access to other combination keys that I wanted to be able to show you today. If we want to move to a different active needle, right now our active needle is number 2. If I want to move either right or left, I will use the needle case key and then move in whatever direction it is that I want to be moving. Sometimes you'll do that to be able to maybe replace a needle or thread a needle. It just makes it easier. We're going to move right back to needle number 2. The other thing that we can also do is in the course of your design, you're stitching different colors. We saw how one color stitched and then it changed to another needle. So what you'll be able to do is change to a different color sequence within it, not just a different needle, but the next color that's supposed to stitch. So I could go ahead and use the needle case, and if I go up, it'll move to the next color sequence that's going to happen. But with this particular design, just know that now you haven't completed that color. I can also go back a sequence in the design. So those are things that can easily be accomplished at the control panel, but also note that in another video you'll see how many of those things are accomplished at the computer screen as well. One other item that we can also do, and I won't be able to actually have that illustrated here, but if for some reason my hoop got bumped and my hoop was out of alignment in the course of stitching this design, I can get back to the last stitch. It'll align itself back into the correct position by go ahead and using the left key and the right key in combination. It would move right back to the last stitch that had been taken by the machine before the hoop got bumped, let's say. So that's another handy way to maneuver things at the machine. And again, don't think you have to remember them all, because some of these you'll use very seldom. So go to the cheat sheet and it will help you get through those combination keys that maybe you don't use quite as often. But trust me, the more you use your machine, the better you'll be at using your combination keys. So those are the E16 combination controls.
BERNINA, made to create.